if institutions decide that a 5% allocation to Bitcoin is appropriate, that would add somewhere between 400,000 and 500,000 to the Bitcoin price.
All right. So Bitcoin and the entire crypto market is starting to trend in the right direction again.
I want to congratulate all my Bitcoin people out there.
And while many people contribute this breakout to positive catalysts like the B-Word Day event between Jack Dorsey, Elon Musk, and Cathie Wood, to the bit of a short squeeze that we saw take place over the last couple of weeks, and even some of the rumors between Amazon accepting cryptocurrency, those are not the most important things going on in crypto right now that could drive Bitcoin's price all the way up to $500,000 per coin. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the most important event going on in the crypto market right now and how it has the potential to push Bitcoin's price up to $500,000 per coin.
I think blockchain is the technology right now that has the most potential to disrupt society.
We're going to start off by going over a couple of key technical indicators which look amazing with Bitcoin. After that, we're going to go over a couple of key interviews with Mike Novogratz, Galaxy Digital CEO, with a couple of senators. And at the end of today's video, we're going to go over important changes that Cathie Wood and ARK Invest made with regards to their Bitcoin price prediction, where they see it going, and we're also going to go over a couple of things they've said over the last couple of months and over the last year. So if you guys enjoy this sort of content, well then please be sure to like the video down below. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Let's see if we can get this video up to 2,000 likes. And if you want to see what stocks I am buying and selling in real time, well then make sure to join our Patreon group. You guys can see access to my $700,000 portfolio on Robinhood, my $200,000 portfolio on Webull, and you also get access to 2 of my 7-figure portfolios on both Charles Schwab and on JP Morgan and Chase. So if you like to see exactly what I'm buying and selling in real time, you want access to live streams, well then make sure to join our Patreon group using the link down below. But anyways, let's start off by looking at a couple of key technical indicators with Bitcoin before we get into important interviews with Mike Novogratz, a couple of senators, and with what Cathie Wood had to say. So right now, when we look at Bitcoin's price, the important thing here is that we are above the 200-day moving average on the 4-hour chart. This is the first time that we have seen Bitcoin's price break above the 200-day moving average and have a sustained break above it since back in November and December of 2020, which was right before we saw this massive bull rally. We can look right here in about October, mid to end October 2020, that was the first time that we saw a sustained break above the 200-day moving average on the 4-hour chart, and that is exactly when Bitcoin's price had its rally from $10,000 per coin all the way up to $65,000 per coin. Yes, there have been a couple of times during the last 2 or 3 months that we have tried to break through it, like in mid-June or even in May, but we have not seen a sustained break like we are seeing right now above the 200-day moving average since mid to late October 2020, which was right before we saw the bull run take place in the crypto market. In addition to this, another thing that a lot of people are looking at right now, so that's a great sign that we're entering a bull market for crypto. In addition to this, the other thing that we are seeing is something called the Bitcoin stock to flow model. A lot of people reference this and look at this over the last 10 years in crypto to help predict the price of Bitcoin. And right now, this says that the minimum price we would see for Bitcoin by the end of 2021, by December 2021, is $115,000 per coin. And while it isn't always 100% accurate, sometimes we're a little bit above the line, sometimes we're a little below it, but historically, this has accurately predicted the price of Bitcoin. And so right now, us starting to see a little bit of a breakout, starting to see a bull market for crypto, it could be a sign that we could reach $115,000 per coin by the end of 2021. And we go over this in a couple of other videos, so if you like more details, I'll link that down below. In addition to this, we had a very important interview just the other day come out from Mike Novogratz, who is Galaxy Digital CEO. And this is important because Galaxy Digital CEO Mike Novogratz, we all know he's been very bullish on Bitcoin. I mean, he runs like a crypto company, but he says that right now, the important change we are seeing in the crypto world, the thing that we haven't seen since earlier in the year in 2021, is that now institutional investors are starting to get back involved with crypto. Previously, we had seen that in October, November, December, January, October, November, December of 2020, and like January and a little bit of February of 2021, that was the time that we started to see institutional investors get involved in crypto. And as a result, we saw Bitcoin's price go from $10,000 per coin all the way up to over $60,000 per coin. That bull rally was really driven by institutional investors. So now the key change that we're seeing again is that institutional investors are getting involved again. They had been a bit on the sidelines for like March of 2021, April of 2021, May, June. They had been on the sidelines for much of 2021, but now we're starting to see them get back involved. And according to data that just came out from blockchain data provider Glassnode, it says that about $2.5 billion in Bitcoin has been moved off of crypto exchanges as in a single day on Wednesday, July 28th, 2021. And this is a signal that institutional investors are getting off the sidelines. They're getting back involved into crypto and back involved into Bitcoin, which is helping the price drive up. So everyone thinks the reason why Bitcoin's doing so well, the reason why crypto is doing so well is all because of Elon Musk, Jack Dorsey, and Cathie Wood at the B-Word Day event, the bit of a short squeeze we saw happening, and because of what happened with Amazon and those rumors. But the thing is that's not the big thing going on right now. It's like one thing to have rumors, one thing to have, a couple of events, but what's going to start adding billions of dollars in market cap to crypto? That's going to be when big money players are getting involved. And that's exactly what we're seeing happen again. They said that the balance of Bitcoin on exchanges fell as 63,289 Bitcoin were transferred off of the platforms in a single day. And the thing to keep in mind about this is that if investors are confident, institutional investors or even retail investors, a lot of the time what they do is they pull their Bitcoin off of exchanges, move it into cold storage, especially with institutional investors, because institutions are always concerned about security, privacy, and keeping their Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in cold storage and off exchanges is much more secure. And that is what they typically do because they don't want to have any risks of security, like data security, or any risk of someone hacking into the account if it's on a crypto exchange. They like to keep it in cold storage. So this is a great sign for crypto right now. In addition to this, according to a couple cryptocurrency experts, what they're saying is that institutions have been talking internally about Bitcoin for, if not just 2020 and 2021, they've been talking about it for at least the last 3 years. And what he's saying is that, look, if you're an institution that's put resources, put a lot of time into looking at Bitcoin, and finally you received internal approval after years of doing research, it is absolutely gut-wrenching to watch Bitcoin's price rise 35% in a single week, and it's really anxiety-inducing. So this alone is going to help push more institutions get into Bitcoin and into crypto, because missing out on the dip is not a great feeling, and institutions are finally starting to get involved. And once we see Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan get involved, well, then we're going to start to see all the other institutions and regular everyday companies like Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, and all these other companies get involved as well. In addition to this, Mike Novogratz also came out and said that people are saying Amazon, the rumors from Amazon going to be accepting crypto, that is what a lot of people think is driving the crypto market, but he doesn't agree. He says, yes, it's a great sign that Amazon, we have seen them come out and talk about it, but that's not the only reason why we're seeing the market increase. The main reason is with institutional investors. But the one thing to keep in mind with Amazon is he says that essentially it sent a signal to the whole crypto market that it isn't going away anytime soon, that Bitcoin is here to stay, crypto is here to stay, and it's not going away. Because even though there were rumors coming out of Amazon that they were going to accept Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Cardano by the end of 2021, even though that turned out to just be, rumors and it turned out to be false, the thing is they still have job postings that are currently up to hire digital currency and blockchain product leads. They're looking for people with years of experience and a deep understanding of the cryptocurrency ecosystem, related technologies, and they're looking for someone to help lead their efforts into digital currency and the crypto space. So this is really important. Even though Amazon has said that they're not accepting Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Cardano by the end of 2021, they obviously are making some big moves in the space, because otherwise they wouldn't have open job positions for Amazon.com for digital currency and blockchain product lead. They would not have these job postings open and available if they weren't making, significant moves into the space and don't have big plans. So even though, yes, the rumors were not 100% true, we know that companies like Amazon, companies like Apple, all of these companies have open positions or are hiring people to work specifically on digital currencies, on blockchain, and on cryptocurrency as well. So all of that is absolutely important and crucial for the market and the sentiment moving forward, because it shows us that we're not going away anytime soon. And then lastly, last couple things. One thing is with a senator. Senator Elizabeth Warren recently came out and shot down a couple of key reasons why investors are buying Bitcoin, essentially saying that the reasons people are investing in Bitcoin are not logical. One of the things she said is that with Bitcoin right now, that even though people say it's a hedge against inflation, and then it has no correlation to what's going on with the US dollar and the stock market, she says she doesn't think that's the case at all. She says that she doesn't think that's the case at all. But the important thing here is that I think it's interesting that we're seeing a number of senators come out and say that, there needs to be tighter regulations on Bitcoin. Bitcoin isn't great. There's no point of investing in it. But at the same time, we are seeing a number of US senators invest in it. There's one senator who has said for years that she says to buy Bitcoin, hold it for retirement, save it for retirement, and her name is Cynthia Lewis. She says that she has held Bitcoin for years. The first time she got it was when it was $330 per coin, and she thinks it is very important for people to keep it in their portfolio, save it for retirement. We're seeing Senator Pat Toomey, who bought into Grayscale Bitcoin and Grayscale Ethereum Trust recently. So that's important as well. He bought between $1,000 and $15,000 in the first half of 2021. In addition to this, we have seen a number of other congressmen buy cryptocurrency and some altcoins as well. There's one congressman from Alabama who purchased Dogecoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and this is Alabama Congressman Barry Moore. And there's a number of other ones as well that I went over in a different video. But the interesting thing is people say regulations on crypto are bad, but I don't personally think regulations on crypto are going to be bad, because when we see a little bit more regulation in crypto, that's going to allow institutional investors to feel more comfortable investing. Yes, we don't want them to restrict everything with crypto and put such tight regulations, but the good thing about regulations means that crypto is going mainstream, means that big money players are going to feel comfortable investing and getting involved, because without them, we're never going to see the big money players really get involved. So it's interesting to see that we're seeing a couple of senators say they don't like Bitcoin, but on the other hand, we're seeing a number of them investing into it. One thing to keep an eye out for moving into the end of 2021 and early 2022 is going to be with regards to a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. Right now, we see that there are over a dozen Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF applications waiting to be approved. One of them, which is from ARK Invest, they have a Bitcoin ETF. And I think as soon as we see these ETFs get approved, once we see one of them get approved, I think all of them are going to get approved. And that is going to push billions of dollars into crypto from institutions. But speaking of ARK Invest and their Bitcoin ETF, ARK Invest's Cathie Wood, she's the CIO of ARK Invest. She says that Bitcoin will go to $500,000 per coin, and this has been a prediction she has had for a while. Since about October or November of 2020, she has said that Bitcoin's price will go to $500,000 when a couple of key things happen. The first thing that she says is that Bitcoin's price will be able to go to $500,000 per coin when institutions start to allocate middle single-digit amounts of their balance sheet to Bitcoin. So for example, if they put 6% of their portfolio of their balance sheet into Bitcoin, that will help push the price to about $400,000 to $500,000 per coin. She said the key thing to remember about Bitcoin, she talked about this in the B Word Day event, is that Bitcoin has a like hard cap on the supply. There's only ever going to be a supply of 21 million Bitcoin, and there's only a certain amount mined every year, and there's certain rules set in place, but we know only 21 million Bitcoin. And as a result of this, she says, as institutions start to get more involved, it is going to shoot the price up dramatically. In addition to this, the other thing she speaks about is that this reminds her, Bitcoin and the crypto market reminds her very much of what happened when institutions began to make small allocations to real estate and emerging markets. She said back, a couple decades ago that allocations started at about 0.5%. Then they moved to 1%, and slowly they gradually increased to about 5% allocations. And she sees the same thing happening with Bitcoin, that we're going to see companies start off putting very small portions of their money into crypto, into Bitcoin, but eventually they're going to start to allocate more and more. And at some point, she sees them allocating mid-single digits, so like 5-6%, even as high as 10% is what she has said. One thing I want to point out with regards to Cathie Wood and ARK Invest, she says that one thing that has changed for them, one thing that is surprising, is that some companies, like for example, MicroStrategy, have put all of their cash on their balance sheet into Bitcoin, and they even did another equity offering so they could raise more money, put more money into Bitcoin. This happened a while back, but she had recently come out and spoke about this and said that this shows us that institutional adoption is happening a lot faster than they initially expected. And it's not that they're putting some money in, some companies are going like all in. So this is something interesting that she said we'll have to keep an eye out for moving forward. But the important thing is here is that right now, according to data from Glassnode, it shows us that a lot of institutions, like about $2.5 billion of Bitcoin was moved off of exchanges, and that shows us that institutions are getting involved. And Cathie Wood and ARK Invest, they say that as institutions get involved, that is what we need to push the price of Bitcoin up to $400,000 to $500,000 per coin. So we'll see what happens here, but there's a lot of exciting stuff going on with crypto. Me personally, I've been continuing to dollar cost average into Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Polygon, EOS, and a couple of others, which I talk about in our private group on Patreon and also in my account on public.com investing. So if you want to see anything that I'm doing, anything I'm investing in, make sure to follow me on public.com investing. If you want to have more exclusive content, more exclusive access to our Discord, to Patreon, make sure to check out our Patreon using the link down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I thought it was pretty interesting to see this all of a sudden switch from institutional investors. So I wanted to share that with you guys and where the price of Bitcoin could go. So hope you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See you guys.